fuck, it's 2 in the afternoon. For fuck's sake, why am I saying good evening? I don't know. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Okay, so we are going to start with this. I'm still at the point where it's just like overseer the familiar games. Yeah, sure. I'm still at the point where I kind of want to respec, but I need to respec several characters if I actually want to get to the point where I want the party to be. Which is not great. Uh, no more. Yeah, sure. Imperium lore? Tech use. Tech use, yeah. No, it's me juggling back and forth. Whenever critical hits first time in around the game. First critical hit grants stacks per. Okay. So we're here. Now, I've had a thought about actually respecing my character or maybe switch around Cassia a bit or something like that, but it just kind of comes down to why? Already explored. Okay. Now, there's a few things. For example, if we actually replace Cassia, we have no really good awareness character at all, which is bothering me a bit, honestly. I think Hypella is at the point where she's just a fucking murder machine at this point. Abelard is Abelard. We're not replacing Abelard. Are you fucking crazy? And Pascal is also really high medicine, really high tech use. Two of the things I really enjoy playing around with. I like having characters with those skills fairly high in the party. So, yeah. It kind of comes down to don't really want to switch those. Is that? It's just medium. I'm kind of sad we didn't get like I'm kind of sad we didn't get anything that was really ridiculously knightly, like a knight helmet or something like that, from the planet, because that would have been really fitting, in my opinion. Anyhow, off to explore more systems. We've done that. Let's head over there.
Enemies of humanity have been spotted aboard the ship. Warp beasts have enthralled the crew in charge of one of the macro cannons and massacred those who resisted the heresy.
Yep.
The Lord Captain is their only hope.
I'm hoping that, to be fair, he did perform. Solomon performed very well in the boss fight last night. He was one of the carriers. Kybella and him just decimated everything.
Let us walk this path to the end. Is a reward. Purge this heresy from existence.
So Cassia is first.
Save you.
Abelard, where are you? There you are. So let's do this first. Yeah, pop that to you.
I'm a navigator, not a servitor.
It won't take long. The arbitrator judges.
And then you come around,
Me?
you do that.
If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to the navigator's might.
Okay, good. What is...
Significant value.
Okay. Ouch.
Part of the trial.
Ouch. You know what? Go there, Kabbalah. Yeah, you took a bit of damage. But you can also do just this.
I cannot serve you in this way. One foe or 100, I will kill them all.
Then you got 5 stacks. Great.
Trust me. I shall not fail. Trust me.
You parried that shit? Can't have that. You parried it again? Yeah. Yay.
The order's clear. Target eliminated.
Okay. I think we can work with this.
Let Let the faith guide my path to glory.
I switched around a few things on Solomon, as in just equipment, no talents or anything like that, but kind of just switched away the way I thought about how I use him, and more focus on actually him using his shotguns. And because I picked up the talent where he can use a two-handed shotgun in one hand, he now has two one-handed shotguns. Because that helps a lot, honestly. To be fair, we can add that to cargo. We can also add those to cargo. You know what? They're not that great. Add those to cargo. Yeah, I literally just threw on two shotguns I had in my inventory. He already has the thing where it's in melee range. He applies bleeds. I don't honestly know what to put on him otherwise. Like, don't really have automatic weapons, so recoil isn't really a thing for him at all. When it comes to gloves, to be fair, those gloves, run and gun would be decent, I guess. Weapon skill and strength wouldn't be bad either. Gloves allow the wearer to parry melee attacks with a ranged weapon using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. But like, nothing else is really like jumping out. He's spamming coercion, more coercion stuff. So I think that's kind of the route we are going with him. We don't really have melee area of attacks. There's not ranged area of attacks. Perception lowers bonus. Area of attacks increases the damage by 3 until the end of combat. Each killed enemy by the wearer's area of attack. Okay. Yeah, no, we're taking that. That should be able to pump up the damage he's doing because he AoE. So, yeah. I think that's a good improvement for him. We don't really have anything ranged focus on the necklaces, honestly. The helmet, sticking with it. Yeah, I think Solomon right now for us is going to deal a fair amount of damage. Medicaid costs -1 AP. Okay, so we are going to continue exploring this space, exploring systems today. I think today might be a sell day as well, going to Footfall. Don't have any. Yep, picking that one up. Oh yeah, colony management. Complacency and efficiency was the thing we kind of wanted. Critical hit chance is not a bad thing either, honestly. And we're going to Redsus here, so we doesn't matter which one we're getting. giants. Kiva Gamma. Okay. Can't do that one. Blocked. We need mechanisms. I think we're going this one. Restore 20 wounds. Because Dark Sages. Yeah, no. Down. I'll be going this one here. 6 people.
Idex is a planet of no particular note. However, the small station suspended in its orbit sends a distress call to your ship. The man in the hurried Vox transmission introduces himself as the planet's governor and asks for the rogue trader's assistance in a delicate matter. He promises to supply the details in a private Vox conversation.
Studied records of the concerning the planet.
It appears Idex recently suffered a major coup. One of its noble families seized power and made outcasts of the former dynasty. Such plots are not uncommon, although, notably, Idex has become less prosperous under the new government.
The man have formal talks with you if he has nothing to... Yep.
The governor's transmission is interrupted by an official request from the planet. Idex's authorities are claiming that the person who just contacted you is a member of a heretical sect of nobles who has escaped from the warden's custody. The planetary government is asking, in the name of the Imperium, that the traitor be eliminated at once.
I have the exits, may recall. The man that put the charge... Yeah.
Ruoldo used to be a member of Idex's ruling dynasty, before being sent away by his own family. The government is wary of Ruoldo due to his rumored involvement in heresies of some sort.
Okay, so... Okay, let's see here now. So they are... study concerning the planet. The man heard Vox transmitting introduce himself as the planetary governor and asked the rogue trader to assist in the climate. He promised to supply the details in the private Vox conversation. Idex suffers a major coup when a noble seized power and made out an outcast the former dynasty. Such a plot is not uncommon. The governor transmission interrupted by an official request from the planet. The Idex authorities are claiming that the person who we just contacted is a member of the heretical nobles and has escaped from the warden's custody. The planetary governor is asking trade to be eliminated at once. Strike the station with macro cannons.
The station's fiery remains adorn the sky of Idex. Whoever was on there will never be ruler of anything again. The Idex Parliament that contacted you sends you generous gifts as a token of gratitude for your cooperation.
Leave orbit.
Your ship departs into the icy void, leaving the schemers of Idex behind.
Okay. And now... Wait. Do we actually have some upgrades? Short-range broadside, 2 autonomous aiming modules. I kind of want to test those out, but not against Xenos threats in general. What? What the fuck were in there?
Enemy contact! All hands, make ready to unleash our fury!
Eldar is always a tricky battle in general. Okay, so...
I want to hear the macro cannons roar! destruction upon our enemies.
Can't really hit you. If we move forward here. If we move here, we have a shot on that one. So we're going to move forward here. Apply the macros on you.
Unleash a barrage of destruction.
Okay, that missed. Fire that.
I want to hear the macro cannons roar.
Okay. If we go there, we don't have vision. Can't aim on anything. Okay.
Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany.
Ah, fuck.
Show them the fury of our macro cannons.
Okay. What is the buffs for this place? 30% of it minus 25% minus hit chance.
I want to hear the macro cannons roar. Show them the fury of our macro cannons.
Nothing hit. Okay. We are doing this though. Okay. That doesn't hit anything. That doesn't hit anything. Yep.
Set course with all haste. Unleash the power of our lance batteries.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, bad move for me there.
Unleash a barrage of destruction. Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany. Send our enemies to the void.
Yeah.
Bring doom to our enemies.
Restart the shield, move one forward.
We have a destination to reach.
Reporting hull breaches. Executing damage control.
Okay, so let's do this in another way then. Isolate and eliminate is probably the best way of going at it. The big one is annoying. So we can shoot at you.
Unleash a barrage of destruction.
Then we can pop a torpedo.
And launch.
Here.
Show them the fury of our macro cannons. Unleash the power of our lance batteries.
Then we... What is that buff? Critical hit, yeah.
I want to hear the macro cannons roar.
That's just going to reset that cannon. It's not going to reset that cannon. That one doesn't matter either. Yeah, no. Okay. So we take that one and we ram it in there. That's one less.
Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany.
Two random weapons of the vessel are disabled until it leaves the zone. Additional. Okay.
Helmsman, navigate us to the designated coordinates.
Okay. And now I can deal with you.
Unleash a barrage of destruction. Send our enemies to the void. Bring doom to our enemies.
Okay.
I want to hear the macro cannons roar.
That's there, that's there.
Full ahead.
Full ahead. We're doing a restart on shields. And we're jumping away. So if I shoot here, it's not in range. But if I do that, that should put it in the range, right? Yes. So we can get off a few shots on it, take one out, exactly what we wanted, and we can move over here,
Navigate us to the designated coordinates.
and we can get a few shots off on it again. Great. Now it's these two here. So we have eliminated a few. Okay. Oh, don't mind if I do. Yep.
Set course with all haste. Show them the fury of our macro cannons. Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany. Rain destruction upon our enemies.
If I go there, no, it's not worth it.
Show them the fury of our macro cannons.
You missed? Really now?
Let the macro cannons sing their deadly
No
litany.
escape pods detected. No emergency beacon detected. No survivors detected.
Okay, like that. And then...
We have a destination to reach. Set
Turn
course
in.
with all haste.
Their torpedoes, my torpedoes. Bye-bye.
Victory is ours.
We got provides weapon with targeting data, 19 hit chance. Additionally, provide ally targeting data with the lands and macro. Have a additional provide allies. That's actually fairly good, isn't it? I think so. What is going on? What is going on? Okay. Off to the next. Off to the next place to see what we find there.
Permission to report. Your proctor has arrested my voidsman and is demanding his execution. A repeat offender, he says. Please do something, Lord Cap'n.
Who is the voidsman?
He's one of mine. Not as big of an idiot as the rest of the idlers. He understands the control systems, he can make sense of the readouts. Him, a repeat offender.
Brilliant. I will personally interrogate him. Yep, bring him in.
Consider it done, Lord Cap'n.
Hello, Great Dudad. Long time no see, yeah? What? To be fair, it's a new DLC character, so I'm not confused by the fact that I haven't actually had.
Lord Captain, I beg you to look into this outrage. This cyber horror nearly chewed up my assistants, and one of them's been left without 2 of his fingers. Instead of calming his beast, the arbitrator attacked my crewman.
Solomon waits for the end of the master helmsman's words and coolly turns to you.
His crewman is a wanted man, rogue traitor. He is accused of subverting sacred tithe shipments, smuggling, kidnapping the Imperium subjects, and bribing officials. Were we not on your flagship, I would have executed the heretic on the spot, but here, you are the authority, and you are the court.
Why did you attack my... Oh, for fuck's sake. Scared the living shit out of me. Oh, fucking door. Why did you attack my subject, Solomon?
The bastard tried to run when he saw me. His fellow crew members hesitated and didn't make way for me. There was no time to find out if they were abetting the perpetrator or just panicking, so I had to use Glado for suppression purposes.
Solomon, why are you certain that this man is the man you're seeking?
Because I was personally involved in tracking down and purging the shadows of the Abyss crime syndicate to which the perpetrator belongs. The case was in Calixis, on the world of Helvetica Prime, but for arbitrators, time and distance do not mitigate guilt. The man before you is the former captain of a smuggling ship owned by the syndicate. Check the heretic's left arm. Every syndicate member had a distinctive implant by which they recognized each other. It was that implant's signature that Glado picked up on during his patrols.
How did a criminal from Calixis find his way onto my ship?
He was among the servants sent to you by Governor Medina.
I gotta love this. That's the first one in a while, though. How was it you did this? Yeah. I don't remember how the fuck you did this. It's been so long since I actually banned someone. There we have it. So. He was among your servant to go in Medina Center. Okay, okay. Accused, do you have anything to say about this? Or, Ravenor, did you know about this?
If I went sticking my beak into the pasts of every one of the hundreds of people in the crew, I wouldn't have time to steer your ship. All I know is that when everything went to shit on Rykad Minories, this one oversaw the work at the docks so that the fools didn't trample each other to death in their panic. And later he ran into a friend at the port on footfall, and they found us some parts within a day. He's even got arms growing out of the right places. He might make it to junior helmsman, if he keeps it up.
Accused, what do you have to say about... anything to say?
The long-haired voidsman flinches when you address him.
Your lordship, the governor of Helvetica Prime was a scumbag who abhorred the light of the god emperor, the things he did to the people under him. We only survived by stealing from him, or else we'd have ended up in a corpse pit, like 1 in 4 did after a distribution station accident. But once I'd got out of there, that was it, I was out of that business for good. And when I found myself in your service, I realized that it was a gift of fate, and I'd be a fool if I didn't repay such good fortune with my wholehearted toil.
He is a repenting citizen. I will not let him die.
I await your orders.
The master helmsman shoots a look of naked dislike at Solomon.
Ravenor, this talented voiceman is your responsibility. You should be committed. Should he commit any henceforth, you will answer for them. Capable hands. Repairing the... Ooh, that's really nice. It's not for you, Solomon, to judge trying to escape the claws of dishonor who tried to write me off once too. Let the voiceman be, I won't say it again. I do trust that this man remain in the Master Helmsman's crew, but I cannot allow such talent to go to waste. Hand him over to the factotum, and he will find a use for him. Yeah, no, he's a talented voidsman. Ravenor, you're responsible for him.
Yes, Lord Captain.
Raver's disgruntled grimace momentarily dissipates.
Then this case is closed. With your permission, I will return to my duties.
Yep. Okay, great. So there are certain ways of looking at it, but honestly, that's the way I look at it. We got a big stat boost from it, and we also got we got a big stat boost. Also, it kind of fits with the Dogmatic. He has been repenting. He should not be punished for the fact that he's still repenting. Why the fact that we lose a profit factor is my question. Anyway. Okay. Flogging and adamantium. Okay. Glass steel. I don't have enough extractinators or extractiums.
The tiny colony is buried in an enormous yawning pit, the edges of its civilian structures barely visible even from the shuttle.
Explore the surface of the
The
colony.
settlement was destroyed when the ground swelled up under it. The forlorn bones of dead colonists are strewn amid the rubble. On the edge of the crater, the scouts discover a tunnel entrance. Apparently, there was an explosion in the cavities beneath the town, whose unsuspecting people fell instantly into the chasm that opened as a result. Near its gaping maw is a shuttle, overturned and blackened by the blast, forever motionless.
Investigate the tunnel.
Deep beneath the rubble, the scouts uncover the remains of warehouses, depots, and a veritable maze of suspicious tunnels gated with airlocks. Judging by the flattened containers with half-effaced markings, the impressively vast subterranean city belonged to a smuggling syndicate.
Investigate the shuttle.
Lying next to the shuttle are empty bomb containers and corpses clad in characteristic armor. The void craft belonged to the Adeptus Arbits. Surviving records suggest it was the arbitrators who planted the explosives and collapsed the tunnels on top of their dwellers. Searching through the papers, you find the demolition plans. The arbitrators knew that detonating the tunnels would bury the colony, but prioritized eliminating the criminals over preserving the lives of ordinary settlers. The documents also include a map of the Coronus Expanse containing encrypted data. It appears the arbitrators were aware of another smuggler's cache, but in a different system.
Okay. Where do we have this? Okay, let's clear out this planet, this system first, and then let's see where we have this cache, so to say. Okay. So where are we heading now? We could head back towards Dragonas. We also... Okay. So that is Forging the Path. So that is one of the planets. Inform about the inspection. What do we have here? Visit the Forgotten Twin System. Prudence. What is this? Lost in the Void. That is Kibagama. Magnetic Storm. So, thoughts right now is we could go here. That's the planet where Big Voidver was last seen. But honestly, I want to go to Dragonas.
Lord Captain, urgent report. We have received an astropathic message from Regent Aron to Orsleo. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Yorick V. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status, and he has also enquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and to arrange the return of the Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays acute concern, but it also contains something that the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrightness, I feel it is necessary to tell House Orsleo the truth. Otherwise, a conflict with the Navi's Nobilite is possible, which, given the current state of the Coronus Expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium.
Tell House Orselio that Cassia is safe, and the rogue trader would be honored to meet in person.
I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The astropaths will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Orsleo will be waiting for you on the capital world Darganus. Receiving members of the Navi's Nobilite is always a delicate matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your Chancellor upon arrival.
Okay, we're doing that straight up. We're not just doing that straight away, because there's no reason for us not to wait around with that. Dragonus. So the restoration is done. Complacency. Oh. Ooh. Security profit factor. And now we can get the sword. Yeah. On Janus? What was it we were waiting for on Janus? Mechanics was the thing we were waiting for on Janus. So, do we have mechanics here? No, I don't think so. Imperial Navy reputation plus security. Escort ship. I want that one. Critical hit against pirates. Mark frag grenades. Okay. This is the Shield of the Emperor. More increased reputation with the Navy. But we need more adamantium. We had adamantium in the system we just left. We could go back and get that. Fellowship of the Void. Don't really care about this that much. Fitting would be doing the Adeptus Arbites. That would be the most fitting thing to do. Because it's Adeptus Arbites. The guild is really good as well. For the simple reason that we're going to get so many more cogs or mechanics from it. So, first off, we are getting people. We need mechanics for this. All enemies and his penalty to torch. It's not a bad one when we have Kybella in the team, but Kybella might just kill everyone straight up as well, so it's a bit of that as well. I think we're going with Xeno Defense. Xeno Defense is Dark Sages, so yeah, no, we're not doing Dark Sages, we're doing that, so it's going to be one of these two. Might be this one, because that means that literally just means that we are going to have more income of material to boost our reputation. Von Valencia's Palace. Administratum. We're going to the Administratum. You leveled up again. You are a bit higher level than us. Okay. So, we are... once per turn... public sentencing. No. Arbiter's physical equal to the block. Allowing the arbiter 90% of immune to be immune. Law and order. Arbiter attack turns. Deal 30% damage. Target such must. I think we're going law and order. Just flat damage. And we have that. Bolter. Dueling. Instant. Dual weapon. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We're looking for... I'm unsure if he has attack with both weapons. Instant reputation, heavy weapon proficiency, flame weapon proficiency, dual combat. The character can attack with a second weapon. Yeah, we're going that one.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Okay. This is the same as Jay's quest, where... Yeah, the exact same position. Okay. We have loot over here. What is it? Petition. Oh my god.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
That is report of Rykon Minores. Arriving in Rykon Minores to the signed. Captive Void of the Heartless. Bombarded the Heartless by essence when it's neutralizing the target's Argona. Order the destruction of special category Terrasium Natural Psi Focus Existence Similar Resources. Check Mining World Registry. Okay. I presume we need to talk to her here.
The shriveled, insect-like old woman greets you with a keen look.
Welcome back to the Temple of Law and Order, your lordship. I have already been informed that you are here about that Syrah.
Prefect Velta nods to herself and snaps her brittle fingers, prompting a servo skull to flit closer, the creaking of its quill filling the air.
Begin entry 51/4 Alpha. In the matter of the world that Syrah and its obligation to pay the imperial tithe, this audience with the prefect of the Adeptus Administratum is now in session. Now then, what were your findings, Harold von Valancius?
I discovered a material on Teresa, Terrasium, potent psi focus. I had it destroyed in the interest of the Imperium and security. Solomon, tell the perfect everything.
I am afraid I cannot accept another person's report.
Her shriveled fingers nimbly extract a piece of parchment from her stack of papers. It is covered in minuscule writing.
According to Coronis Expanse Statute 19/A11, any decision pertaining to matters of the tithe shall solely be answered for by the person that directly made said decision. A report made by any other person shall be deemed legally null and void.
The prefect puts the document back in its place.
As you can see, there is a sacred stipulation that you submit your report in person and that I accept it from no one else.
A heretic had seized the power of Teresium. I had him executed.
I see.
The old woman looks at you intently over her ocular lenses.
This is regrettable news. Even if your action was forced by circumstance, the loss of the governor means the loss of the very stability that any servant of the Administratum is immutably obligated to uphold and protect. Well, let us get to the record then.
The prefect turns to the servo skull.
Rogue traitor Harold von Valancius effected the execution of the governor of that Syrah appointed by the Adeptus Administratum. Preliminary damage assessment and restoration forecast of the world's key structures, Class A, severe noted and recorded.
Discovered material Terrasia on Terrasia. Terrasium, the potent psi, had it destroyed in the interest of the Imperium's security.
The prefect grimaces.
I can quite confidently deem that outcome to be adverse to the interests of the Imperium. Alas, your lordship, I am duty-bound to deliver an exact and impartial assessment of the events. Rogue trader Harold von Valancius, upon learning about the existence of deposits of a natural psi focus located on the world that's Syrah, destroyed said material in its entirety. Consequently, the Imperium was deprived of a highly prized resource. Noted and recorded.
The prefect chews on her lip in thought.
I will be frank with you, your lordship, the conclusions that were drawn regarding the Syrah inspection were far from satisfactory. Minor disturbances such as a mass execution of mutants or the Rabble's plot disguised as a celebration are not nearly as dangerous as the, if you will permit my choice of words, coup that resulted from your intervention. I understand that consequences are something that those endowed with power are wont to leave to their servants to deal with, and therefore, something they find acceptable to ignore.
Inscribia's ocular lenses flash as she looks up from her scrolls.
However, I hope my words may help you to revise your approach to executing the Imperium's will in the Coronis Expanse in future.
With a tap of her nail, she dismisses the servo skull.
One or the other way, we consider this closed. Am I correct? How did you obtain detailed information about the events of Thracia? If you think Thrasia's mineral is so important to the Imperium, make it a part of the tide. What is the problem?
Of course you have the power to change your decision at the snap of your fingers, but its implementation will fall to thousands upon thousands of administrative functionaries. They will have to first record the previous status of the tithe, and then begin an equally lengthy process of re-registering the payment. As servants of law and order, we cannot simply skip the cumbersome parts. Procedure must be followed meticulously, lest we become mired in anarchy.
How did you obtain so much detail about Thracia?
Duty dictates that Adeptus Administratum officials always be adequately informed, otherwise, our service to the Imperium's order would be of rather questionable use. Unfortunately, it is for this same reason that I cannot disclose my sources to you.
One or the other way, we can consider the matter of Thracia closed. Am I correct?
Closed and recorded, yes.
The old woman smacks her lips in satisfaction.
However, that was just the first item on the agenda. Now, on to the next matter.
The prefect beckons over another servo skull, which obediently takes its place at her side.
Begin entry 52/1 Sigma. Competency assessment of Proctor Solomorn Anthar based on his performance during the mission on the world that's Syrah.
You hear a painful metallic creak as Solomon's augmented hand clenches into a fist.
Competency assessment? Very well, Prefect. I am listening.
Solomon did nothing that could not be considered a violation. Solomon did nothing that could be considered a violation of the Lex Imperialis. Someone has finally caught you by the scruff of your neck, eh, lawman? Solomon didn't...
So as to avoid misunderstanding, allow me to clarify that I am not making any judgment, but rather gathering information at Marshal Strix's request.
The prefect turns to Solomon.
Proctor Anthar, you will be evaluating your own conduct in this instance. For my part, I will merely state a few key points. Let us begin. How would you describe your performance, taking into account the following facts?
Volta produces a parchment scroll.
You took part in the execution of an administrative appointee without its appropriate permission. You also allowed yourself to be captured, thus endangering your mission and imperiling the valuable equipment issued to you by the Adeptus Arbits. What is more, you sanctioned a tithe-related decision that carries adverse consequences for the Imperium.
The old woman pauses.
That is all. Proceed to your self-evaluation.
Solomon's heavy gaze is fixed upon the prefect as he slowly forces the first word out of his jaws, as if they have turned to stone.
I took every effort and was acting solely in the name of the Lex Imperialis. However, the outcome of the mission speaks for itself. My verdict is thus that my performance in the Syrah case was inadequate.
Okay.
Noted and recorded.
The prefect's immaculately polished ocular lenses bore into you once more.
Now that the Syrah inspection report has been properly entered into the record, allow me, on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum, to officially extend our gratitude to you for the support you provided to us. May the von Valancius name be forever praised, and may the Emperor protect your dynasty for many generations to come. That said, I must now request your assistance in a different capacity. A number of highly important court cases have accumulated at the Palace of Justice, the kind that require formal resolutions by the rogue traitor himself.
Aren't you being a little harsh on yourself, Solomon?
Exactly as harsh as my duty demands that I be. An arbitrator has no right to mistakes or weaknesses. Our mission is much too important.
The proctor's voice sounds firm but detached, as if his mind is wandering far away.
What is the Palace of Justice?
It is a temple of the law erected by your ancestors. Some cases could only be settled by heads of the dynasty, but since their time was occupied by other important duties, a facility was built for storing especially complex cases. At a certain point, servants of the administratum were permitted to use the Palace of Justice for hearing disputes. Then, in Lady Theodora's time, the arbits became part of the legal procedure as well.
How will the trial proceed?
The defendants will speak first, whereupon you can ask me clarifying questions on the case, and then
The old woman gives you a meaningful look over her ocular lenses.
a death sentence must be passed. You are, of course, free to judge otherwise, but an execution is preferable, since in every case that will come before you, an outcome without highly unpleasant consequences is unlikely. Executions reduce the number of malcontents and motivate prospective defendants to solve their problems before they come under the purview of the rogue trader's court.
One of the rogue traders' many duties is mete out justice, I agree. Yep.
I have relegated my current tasks in advance, and thus am ready to escort you to the Palace of Justice immediately. Please, follow me.
Okay. We are going here. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Is that a fucking flamethrower? It's a fucking flamethrower in a trial room. Why am I not surprised? Look at it. Oh, that's a big one as well.
You are greeted by an impeccable dressed man with a perfectly straight back. An Arbit's scale emblem is embroidered on his clothes.
Glory to House von Valancius. We are honored to welcome you to the Palace of Justice, your lordship. Do you wish to proceed to the session at once, or will you grace me with any questions I might humbly answer?
What kind of cases are usually heard here?
Only the most important ones that involve the interests of the highest-born persons and prominent factions of the Imperium, disputes between noble houses that go on for generations, conflicts between the God Emperor's servants who are vested with authority and whose disagreements affect trade and security in the Protectorate, and other litigations of supreme significance. The cases litigated at the Palace of Justice quite literally concern matters of life and death. In such instances, there is always a guilty party whose lies, connivances, or negligence have caused damage to the Protectorate. The task of the judge is to establish guilt and pass a stern sentence, as order cannot be imposed without these, or without summary executions. Please follow me.
In Scribia Volta's dreary, Vox-amplified voice carries across the hall.
The court will now hear case DP 1453/2, the doleful host against the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Representatives for the parties will present their arguments following standard procedure.
A woman with lines of scripture all over her skin folds her arms into an aquila.
My name is Sister Jeth and I represent the doleful host. O God Emperor's anointed one, we came upon a group of heretics whose minds brimmed with the most shameless thoughts. We captured them and tortured them as befits their transgressions. From what we were able to discern from their wailing and screaming, the head of the astropathic choir is plotting to betray House von Valancius. No one is a liar when flame is caressing their flesh. The doleful host surrounded the choir building and demanded that the heretic be handed over. It was solely out of respect for the anointed one that we refrained from burning down the wayward heretic's den on the spot. However, say but the word, and we shall take him, that he may undergo a righteous cleansing. The arguments are acknowledged and shall be weighed on the scales of justice. The representative will retreat to the chapel of patience to await the verdict.
The gaunt man dressed in astropather's robes is standing tall, but his voice trembles with fury.
I am Master Angelio. I represent the Dargonus astropathic choir. These insidious and ignorant people are passing off their victims' ravings as truth. Your lordship, people will say anything under torture just to make the agony stop. We have served House von Valancius faithfully for decades, Master Priz the longest of all. Please, order them to stand down.
The master of the court repeats the same monotonous formula, bidding the other representative to leave the courtroom.
Which on your Vox? Vigdis, quick. Ask your ship's choirmaster whether the Vox Master or Master Paras of Dragonas is been known to engage in any kind of compromising behavior.
At once, Lord Captain. Choirmaster Wise has known Master Priz for quite a long time. He has made a very measured statement to the effect that for some time now, the mental images conveyed by Priz have taken on a shade of profound anxiety, and have become more aloof and detached overall. Zachary Wise attributes this to Priz's horrific experience during the warp storm, but he is less than completely sure, as there is still something that sets the Dargonis Choirmaster's messages apart from those of his fellow survivors.
Why are they putting things on the scale? Give me details about the parties to this conflict. I want to see who among them is trustworthy.
As the prefect leans toward you, you get a whiff of ink and candle wax.
The doleful host is a respected cult of the God Emperor. The Adeptus Ministorum has deemed them to be paragons of virtue who combat every manner of heresies, and has enlisted their aid in various conflicts. Naturally, the Ecclesiarchy stops short of counting them among its warriors, but it uses them in very similar ways. The Astropathic Choir hardly needs an introduction. They are some of the most valuable servants of the Imperium, without whom any and all communication between your worlds would collapse. The Dargonis Choir took horrific casualties in the recent major warp storm. Master Priz made an enormous effort to at least partially restore communication. While we may not have proof of his innocence, Priz's dedication to his duty is beyond doubt.
The old woman knocks her shriveled fingers together.
As you can see, this is an intricate situation.
Yeah?
You have no way of knowing what the correct decision should be. This does look like a complicated case.
Difficulty modifier -40, okay. I want to hear my retinue's opinion.
Lord Captain, without a choirmaster, the power of Dargonis's astropaths would be significantly diminished. Unless a worthy replacement is found for Master Priz, he cannot be executed.
The seneschal frowns.
There is a quarter world that owes us an old debt which can be repaid with a seasoned astropath. We can make the request, although it would leave the planet in question with barely any means of communication. Both parties have shown disrespect for the Imperium's authority. The doleful host is engaging in mob justice, and the defendant did not even deign to stand trial in person. Sentence them both to death, that would be the optimal outcome.
The situation is complex and requires further investigation. I would like to hear out the parties.
Again? I'm afraid they have already said what they had to say and are humbly awaiting their fate.
Okay.
Whatever questions you have, you may pose to me.
Why are they putting things on the scale?
The Scales of Justice are a sacred relic installed as a testament to the alliance between the von Valancius dynasty on one side and the Adeptus Arbits and the Administratum on the other. Legends say ancient machine spirits dwell within the relic. The Scales of Justice are only used on extraordinary occasions when an intervention from the rogue trader is necessary. Ceremony dictates that items symbolizing the parties' arguments be placed on the scales, and once the verdict is announced, the machine spirits weigh the decision made and show either affirmation or rejection through the position of the scales. However, there has never been an occurrence where the rogue trader and the spirits of the scales were divided on the verdict.
It is highly unlikely that such an artifact actually exists. Judging by the design of the device, it is nothing more than a set of regular albeit enormous and masterfully crafted weight scales devoid of machine spirits of any kind. Someone must be secretly manipulating the plates in order to add greater profoundness to the rogue trader's verdict.
The situation is complex and requires further investigation.
The prefect's dry fingers press down on the runes on her data slate.
As I thought, I deeply regret to inform you that said further investigation is impossible. The host's fighters are already breaking down the doors of the choir. Delaying the decision would lead to uncontrollable consequences.
Solomon, is it not excessive to execute both parties?
No such a verdict will remind your subjects that only the rogue trader has the right to administer justice. Besides, if you take the host's side, it will inspire new self-proclaimed executioners, and if you absolve the astropath and he turns out to have been guilty after all, other heretics will feel safe to act with impunity. That is why I advise you to be stern. The Lex is on your side.
Yeah.
As you wish, your lordship. Who is to face the death penalty?
Okay. Security. I agree with Solomon. Execute both. I agree with Solomon, honestly. Yeah, no. Execute both parties.
A harsh verdict, but from now on your subjects will hardly dare escalate situations to the point of open clashes, in cases similar to this one, of course. The rogue trader has made his decision. Arbitrators, carry it out.
The prefect proceeds matter-of-factly to the next scroll.
The court will now hear petition CR 1547/33, restated. The petitioner is Cardinal Angeles. Your arguments, please, Cardinal.
Cardinal,
The
okay.
gaunt man raises his bloodshot eyes at you. For a moment, all sounds cease, even the scratching of the countless servo skulls quills. The man's gaze is full of a pain so strong and undiluted that your breath seizes in your throat.
I am impure, O Emperor's anointed one. I am beset by impure thoughts, but no one believes my confessions. I have been giving away the treasures I possess, only for people to bring me more. Worse still is the knowledge that I am leading people astray. They look at me and believe a state of perfect grace is attainable, while I am very tired.
The cardinal blinks away at her and continues.
But most terrible of all is that my brethren, the preachers of the Coronis Expanse, see me as a holy man. Their delusion has been so persistent that they sent a petition to Holy Terra, asking that I be made a saint. That was when I became firm in my decision to submit to torture in front of my congregation, thus reminding them that no holiness exists unless bestowed as a gift by the God Emperor. Even clerics of my rank can and must repent, thus becoming more pure every day. Please, allow me to undergo mortal torture in his name in front of my parishioners.
Am I hearing this correctly? Is the Cardinal asking to be tortured to death for his wickedness?
That is correct. In addition, he insists on your subjects bearing witness to it, as a lesson to them, so to speak. To refuse a cardinal is impious in itself, but to execute one who is a saint in all but name.
You realize that the cardinal himself is somehow to blame for what happened, but your conjectures are stubbornly failing to crystallize into a clear and compelling verdict.
Fuck, difficulty rating on these are high. What does my retinue say?
Situation analysis complete. Let the paradox cease, let functionality triumph. Suggestion: use the unit Cardinal Angeles' organic remains to construct a servo-skull herald and place it in an automated chapel. The status of sainthood will be extended to the liturgical mechanism.
The bloodspun web is knowledgeable in ways to torment one's flesh without going to the undying one before due time. Damin, allow us to help Cardinal Angeles attain enlightenment and experience the purity of a near-death state. Undergoing our rite should make him realize it is not in his gift to sever his own thread.
According to the Lex Imperialis, a candidate saint may personally challenge their sainting by petitioning the ecclesiarch on Holy Terra. Sidestepping the head of the imperial cult is a violation of the Emperor's law. Since astropathic communication with the rest of the Imperium has been disrupted, I propose to put Cardinal Angeles on a ship that crosses the Maw, so that he can submit his request with every formality observed.
Solomon, the Maw is closed.
That does nothing to diminish the stipulations of the Lex Imperialis. Besides, following the letter of the law absolves you of the necessity of tainting your hands with the blood of a potential saint. Either the cardinal will cross the Maw, thus proving his sainthood, or he will perish if the Emperor wills it. As you can see, the Lex Imperialis has all the answers.
I've already judged.
Attention. The rogue trader speaks.
Except I see the Cardinal's coronation. I'm willing to help towards its acceptance. I hope the God, I hope the Emperor's mercy his soul. Cabela makes a good suggestion. The Cardinal shall undergo sacred torture in the established fashion of the bloodspun one. I expect he will reconsider his views on death in the process. Turning him in. So here is the no. We're letting Cabela Torture him, yeah. That one is interesting. No. He wants to be
The old woman
tortured, then
chews her
he
lips
will be
anxiously.
tortured.
That grants the request only in part, but
She glances over quickly at Kibella.
you are probably the only one who believes the Cardinal will survive the Death Cult's ordeal. If everything happens as you envision it, the Cardinal will back down from his intention, and his flock will not be bereft of their saint.
No.
The rogue traitor has made his will clear. Cardinal Angeles will leave the Palace of Justice and accept his fate. Let us move on to the last case for today. The court will now hear case DP 1646/7, Lady Moles Secundus against the late Lord Moles. Lord Moles being deceased, he will be represented by his progeny, Agartha and Shillas Moles. Representatives for the parties will present their arguments following standard procedure. Your Lordship, I am Lady Moles Secundus. Only 8 cycles ago, a man broke into my house posing as my husband, the late Lord Moles. Contrary to what I know, he denies that he was killed by pirates. Instead, he purportedly survived, thanks to the God Emperor's providence. However, I hold here his death certificate, issued by the Administratum, which clearly states that my husband passed away. I demand that this fraud be executed.
The woman belligerently waves around a scroll on which the words "declared dead" are clearly visible.
What?
The arguments are acknowledged and shall be weighed on the scales of justice. The representative will retreat to the Chapel of Patience to await the verdict. Your Lordship, our father did survive. He really was captured by pirates, who were going to demand ransom, but the Imperial Navy managed to board the ship and rescue him. After he went missing, our mother, Lady Moles, arranged for a death certificate before we received the good news. Now, we are in the humiliating position of having to prove that our father is alive, while our mother is living with her new husband, Lord Secundus, and has taken over our family business. We implore you to restore Lord Moles to his life and name. He is humbly awaiting your decision in the Chapel of Patience. All arguments have been acknowledged. Let the rogue traitor's verdict be delivered.
What does Lord Moles have to say?
The prefect plays a vox recording on one of the servo skulls. The soft voice is interspersed with static, but you are able to make out the words.
I am Moles. When the pirates captured me, I thought I was doomed, but fate proved to be more gracious than that. I hurried home, only to, from my own house by my servants, and learn that Lady Moles had already had me declared dead and married Lord Secundus. She'd also taken control of our everything. Agartha and Shillas have recognized me. I'm losing my mind.
What does the Moles family do?
The prefect turns on one of her countless data slates.
The Moles family manufactures nutritional rations. They supply the Astra Militarum as well as worlds that have no food production of their own. With the Lord at the helm, they covered the needs of 3 regiments and 5 worlds. Now, it is 5 regiments and 12 worlds. One might say Lady Moles Secundus has done much better than her husband did.
As much as you would like to turn the situation to your advantage, you cannot think of a solution.
Let my retinue speak now.
This is a complicated situation, but Lady Moles Secundus was acting in the Imperium's interests. She had shouldered the duty of care for the family business, and was in no position to wallow in her grief for cycles upon cycles.
Cassia throws back her shoulders and says in a dignified voice,
A marriage between people of noble birth is a union of 2 servants of the Emperor. Duty toward the Imperium is at the heart of that union. If there comes a long period of time when one of the spouses is unable to fulfill their obligations, the marriage loses its meaning. If you could codify this understanding in law, that would help resolve this situation.
If Lady Moles Secundus is right, then her children are the impostor's accomplices and are guilty of defaming the authenticity of administratum documents.
now Solomon has enough sang-froid in him for a regiment.
Let the woman know that her heirs must face the same fate as the criminal, for so stipulates the Emperor's law.
Perfect. Relay Solomon's word to Lady Moles Secundus.
As you wish.
The prefect's dry fingers tap quickly on her data slate. Soon afterward, she looks up from the vid screen and says in a colorless voice,
Lady Moles Secundus has confessed to bribing an administratum official and is pleading for her offspring to be spared.
Case is clear now. I'm ready to pass my verdict.
All will be silent. What is your decision, your lordship?
fully restored to his life. Lady Mola Secura is thereby found guilty of forging, sentenced to death. Well, perfect. Let us discard the crime committed inside the industry that has led to this hearing. Execute the imposter. Cassia's perspective on marriage in the Imperium is correct. Lady Mollis may stand within you, but shall return her family's business. Forge Protectorate will operate under concept of leave. New concept of leave. Oh, perfect. Let us discuss the crime committed inside Adeptus Administratum that led to this hearing.
The indignant prefect shakes her head energetically.
She is a mother trying to save her children. That may have been a false confession. And, what is worse, a false accusation against the sacred service of the Administratum.
Lady Mollis Secundas, I hereby sentence death. The Administratum shall conduct an internal audit and execute the fraudulent clerk along with their superiors, excluding you. Perfect. Another case in this, and the canon of the law will be pointing at you.
Velta gasps.
Can you even imagine all the procedural disruption in the wake of executing so many?
She shrinks under your implacable gaze, almost disappearing into her robe.
The verdict is clear. Each sentence will be carried out under my personal oversight.
Yep.
As the last attendants leave the courtroom, the prefect turns to you with a delighted expression.
Lady Theodora held court sessions like this to strengthen her subjects' faith in the Lex Imperialis and their fear of breaching it. A most useful practice, wouldn't you agree?
Almost feel a bit bad, but yeah, no. There are no more active disputes in my domain. Come now, bring me a few. The entire court is a farce. They call this class, but it's amusing at first, but not for long. If we're finally done, I will take my leave.
Of course, your lordship. I dare not take up any more of your time.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
The cogitator is filled with data on the workings of the Palace of Justice, listing things such as the names of servants and details of executions. The number of people entering the building is always greater than that of those leaving it.
This is a place where I think we can get some more... time on paper petition, make only fragment. He treacherously intruded upon the ancestral territory of House Gaprak, wrought destruction therein. The list...
This time-worn piece of paper bears a petition of some sort. You manage to make out only a fragment. Plus and plus. Then, he treacherously intruded upon the ancestral territories of House Gaprak and wrought destruction therein. The list of damages is headed by but not limited to 3 servitors of ancient make, 5 armored vehicles, and 10 cogitators whose machines' spirits are beyond recovery. Consequently, we demand that House Sauerback be penalized for an amount thrisely covering the damage inflicted. In support of our accusation, we provide the following. The cogitator is filled with the personal data of the executed. All their possessions have been meticulously accounted for and deposited in the storerooms of the Administratum.
Unlocked.
The wielder gains bonus based on the number of allies wielding Steel Triad. Wait. Reflective shield. Adjacent element allies. One allied deflection. Combat master talent +10.
Countless reports on the incoming tithe, its redistribution, and the funding of the administratum and the arbits.
Okay. So...
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Places explored. Everything is taken.
The might of the Imperium's justice in the form of a massive melter weapon. The roaring torrents of flame it generates leave criminals without a single chance.
Object for the purpose of ascertaining the permissibility of its
Hey, and we are returning to the void ship.
Records on the tech priest who installed the weapon. Do you have a decade of your life to spare, Pascal?
We are bound by the blood of masses.
The conversation back and forth is something really interesting in general. Let's go here now then. So my idea was actually to switch around a few things in the party, removing Cassia, placing, respecking my character, placing in Argenta, removing a few things and just move it back and forth in that way. But as it is right now, I feel like respecking at all. So we are just going to go with it and just roll with it. We are here to talk to House Orselio, because they are one of the ones they wanted to talk to us, and yeah. So we're going to go over there and have a look. The Curiosity Merchant is an interesting one. Can we actually get
The Curiosity Merchant?
No, it's 50 and 45, so... Profit factor will probably go up in general, slowly but surely.
Your lordship,
Clementia looks away from her data slate.
I hope your stay on Dargonis will be beneficial to your physical and mental state. I understand that the heir to a protectorate must have his hands full, but one shouldn't forget about rest.
What about meeting
Clementia immediately focuses on the data slate in her hands.
Allow me to report, the esteemed navigators of House Orselio have taken residence in the guest estate and await a meeting with you. How would you like to receive them?
A meeting with the navigator is just a formality, no need for extravagant reception.
Understood, your lordship.
Clementia promptly makes a note on her data slate.
Would you like to hold this meeting shortly?
Yes, Cassie and I are ready to talk.
Then I'll have messengers sent to retrieve the esteemed guests.
Please come this way. Is he going to behave like an asshole or... No, good. Good, 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 good. So, yeah.
A tall, wizened old man proudly stares at you with milky, unblinking eyes. Loose skin sways with his every move, as if the navigator's flesh has detached from his bones. An unsightly hole mars the regent's face where his nose should be, and the old man's skull is covered with spiky growths.
Rogue traitor.
The regent's sagging lips twist in a condescending sneer.
We hope the Von Valancius Protectorate finds its bearings soon and you astound us with functions every bit as grand as those of your peers. And yet this is not why we are here. Our Grace is obliged to note how much the rogue traitor has done for House Orselio by protecting its beloved child. We waited for many turns to behold her radiant visage.
The regent shifts his unblinking gaze to Cassia.
Come now, child. There is much we need to discuss.
Cassia steps forward, but then stops and looks at you.
As long as Lady Navigator remains under my protection, I will speak on her behalf.
The regent pensively scratches his scant beard with webbed fingers.
I suppose we can tolerate that. After all, it was you who rescued the child. If so, tell us, what exactly happened on Urak-V?
The renegades among your people seized control of the station, tried to kill Lady Navigator, and they didn't get away with it.
Regent Arontu nods slowly.
In that case, House Orselio is deeply indebted to the rogue traitor, and we are willing to reciprocate such a magnanimous gesture. We trust that a treaty of friendship and alliance underpinned by the transfer of several artifacts of exceeding rarity will suffice. Now come, child, it is time we departed for your new home, so that we may finish what we started.
He stretches out his withered hand, covered with translucent leathery membranes, toward Cassia.
Cassia, I would be honored if you decided to stay.
Unthinkable.
Don't shoot! House Orselio was not involved in the attack!
Down with Tisiphone's tyranny! Kill the girl!
Okay,
Don't you dare to cross us!
this is why I have trust issues. Okay, so you first, and the warden here. Solomon goes here. Cabela goes here. Pascal goes here.
I must not falter.
Follow my lead. Stay vigilant.
Weather the storm. Duty prevail. Moving out.
Break their morale.
Help me, Lord Captain!
Weapon at the ready. My faith strengthens.
Don't frighten me!
Onward!
To regroup. Follow my lead. And so shall it be done. The Emperor commands.
A tactically sound approach. Victory is imminent. I will do my duty. The healing is much appreciated. At your beck and call.
I am your blade and shield. Let your soul be purged. The shadows will see it done. As honor or death.
Another step towards our ultimate victory.
Trust me.
Okay. Yeah. Damaging.
Request denied. Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
There.
My
Scan you. Shoot you.
Approved.
You missed. Not great.
Running binary override.
Follow my lead.
Redouble our efforts.
Follow my lead. Come.
Stay
The other
vigilant.
side awaits.
Break their morale. Weapon at the ready. I am the chosen weapon that will crush the heathens. And so it shall be done.
Okay, that's good.
I will
Yeah, sure.
not be deterred.
I took care of this one.
Good.
Actions will speak louder than words.
Yeah, no, we're going
will be
after
done.
the lady.
Indeed. At your beck and call.
I bring mercy and retribution. I shall not fail. The shadows, my blade whispers your name. Trust me.
Hey, yeah.
Advancing. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
How the fuck did you miss that one?
Setting target parameters for tech familiar unit.
Do not allow the instigator of the incessant attempt to leave the palace grounds.
Does something trouble you, Lord Captain?
Know your duty.
Collect all. Yep. I think this... I don't remember this last...
Let us walk this path. Grovel before the faithful. Purge them. My faith strengthens me.
Follow my lead. I must not falter. Weather the storm.
Follow my lead.
Death comes in silence. Let your soul be purged.
Okay, yep.
Follow my lead.
Moving out.
They don't really
Stay
like the
vigilant.
dog, huh?
Onward. Death to the heretics!
I'll take it as a priority. Rejected. Understood. Accepted. It won't take long. I'll take it as a priority.
And so shall it be done. I won't suffer this.
Yeah.
Follow my lead. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. It will be done.
Okay, we are not letting these guys escape, that's for sure.
My vow is to serve.
I don't think you've hit with that a single time, Pascal.
Follow my lead.
Through pain and hardship, we prove
Follow
our
my
devotion.
I must not falter.
Your form gives us the strength to carry on.
I will leave footprints of scarlet. As the tenet's death is a blessing. I shall not fail. I would that I could. Caught by the web.
That as well.
My heart still beats.
Break their morale!
Damage is negligible.
Oh, he's winded, so he can't use it. Okay, fair enough.
Even my dog wouldn't do that. Understood. Accepted.
Rejoice in service!
What? How? Castigating? What is it you have 7 stacks of?
And so shall it be done. The Emperor commands.
As honor ordains.
Actions will speak louder than words.
Okay. Lots of bleed stacks and everything. Okay. What can I do? What can I do that actually makes sense?
If I may. Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Okay, so I need to have 2 points left over. Okay, great.
Me?
Pascal, here you
If
go.
you insist, Lord Captain.
That's a bit of damage at least. That helps.
I'm grateful. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
No. And you parry me, of course. You fucking parry me.
Indeed.
Tech Familiar activated.
Okay. That should help a bit at least.
Weapon at the ready.
Ouch.
Weather the storm.
Don't you need a breathing navigator?
I can still fight.
High momentum.
The shadows will see it done. As the tenets.
Hey. They're now dead. Great.
Let not the righteous fear. May their blades be sharp. Come, the other side awaits. This goes against the tenets.
For the glory of the Imperium!
Moving out!
I don't know what to do.
Hey.
My faith, strength.
The loss of a unit.
That's...
The order is clear. Executed.
What is it you apply? Content. Oh.
Understood. I'll take it as a priority. Understood.
I will do my
Here.
duty.
For fuck's sake.
At your beck and call.
It's not going well for you.
Running by network function successfully terminated.
You know what? I'm
A
taking the
dance
risk.
of blades and shadows. As honor ordains, I shall not fail.
How many bleed stacks do you have on you? 12 now?
As
Okay.
honor ordains. My blade whispers your name.
Arbitrators are made of plasteel. One less. Clarify your order. Waste of time. Even my dog wouldn't do that.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. It will be done. At your beck and... I will do my duty.
Explorers know one route. Forward. Request approved.
As the tenant,
Goodbye.
let your soul be purged.
Let's do this first. Let's loot all these for wardens and stuff like that.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Mercy.
The Lady Navigator covers her face with her disfigured scaly hands, each with an extra finger and conjoined phalangeal bones.
Rogue traitor, whether on purpose or out of ignorance, you are harboring a monster that is cunningly pretending to be an innocent maid. Spare me, and I, Alina Hadaria Orselio, will swear to tell you the whole truth about the madness that is devouring House Orselio like a malignant tumor. Do not let the Regent deceive you with honeyed lies lest the cursed child ruin your protectorate as well.
You see rage and despair in the Lady Navigator's face, but neither is directed at you.
I sentence you to death for your crimes against the rogue trader and Lord Navigator Cassia. Any last words?
Tisiphone's heir be damned. I know that House Orselio will cast off the tyrant's shackles someday, though not here and now. Others will come after me, and may our enemies tremble.
Okay. That was an interesting fight, to say the least.
Rogue traitor, House Orselio humbly asks for your lenience and forgiveness. We could not even imagine these vile rats could be scurrying among our ranks. As for them sneaking into the rogue traitor's palace and staging an unthinkable crime, God Emperor be our witness, the accursed renegades seek to spark a feud between our houses. Allow us to offer you compensation worthy of a rogue traitor, as a gesture of friendship and an apology for any unpleasantness.
I believe you, Regent, and yet this is now the second attempt that made at Cassia's life. I need answers.
We are ready to tell you everything we know so that this misunderstanding can be remedied as quickly as possible.
Tell me more about the renegades.
They are madmen who seek to destroy the centuries-old traditions of our great house, so carefully nurtured by the previous novator Tisiphone Orselio. They deem the century of her rule a tyranny, and our most sacred relic a curse that must be destroyed. Fools. If the Atlas were to be destroyed, the whole of House Orselio would follow it into oblivion.
Why did the renegades seek to destroy House?
They dread its power, for only a novator can fully grasp the mysteries and harness the power of the Starway Atlas. What the renegades call a leash, we call a guiding star.
Why are people trying to kill Lord Cassia?
Everyone in the house knows the child is the keeper of the one true Starway Atlas, which once belonged to our great novator Tisiphone Orselio. The ungrateful wretches secretly hated her grace, and when Tisiphone abdicated her responsibilities and set off for parts unknown, they staged a revolt to destroy her successor.
Does Lord Cassia really
We
carry
believe
the
it with
Atlas?
all our heart. The novator spent many cycles on the world where the child was born. It is said that everyone who witnessed the miracle of her birth simultaneously departed for a destination known only to the novator. Tisiphone gave the order and followed them soon after, leaving her precious gift, the Atlas, to Cassia, and therefore marking her as her successor.
It looks like House Celia has fallen on hard times.
The Regent stays silent and then replies.
To call your statement false would be a lie. For many years, we managed to maintain the fragile balance within our house, but then, the novator's departure shook the faith of many. The treasury is empty, the navigators are scattered, the warp routes are scrambled, and many of our allies cannot be reached. Which is why it is so important to complete the child's education. It is Cassia's duty to take Tisiphone's place and lead the house to prosperity. Such is her great destiny.
What do you know about Cassia's unbridled power?
A special gift for a special child. She was born with it and grew up under its influence. The instability sometimes hampered her education, but we learned to prevent most outbursts. As long as the child remains calm and remains in seclusion, the powers cannot take hold of her mind.
I think I've heard enough.
We would be honored to hear your thoughts on the matter.
I will accept the compensation you have offered.
The Regent nods curtly.
We will arrange for the items to be delivered as soon as possible.
I will dismiss the charges. Yeah, I will dismiss the charges of House for what has transpired.
It pleases us to know that the enemy's schemes failed to harm relations between our dynasties. But tell us, what future awaits House Orselio and the Von Valancius Protectorate?
Let us sign a treaty of friendship and alliance between our dynasties.
With great pleasure. Our emissary will contact yours and deliver the scrolls for your signature and seal. May the Emperor bless this new alliance.
Wish to solve House Orselio's current problems.
The regent's sagging skin quivers when he sighs.
It would be highly disrespectful of us to refuse the aid of a rogue traitor. We, Aeronto Orselio, do hereby accept your offer. If you will allow, we shall discuss the details later.
What about exchange of culture and technology?
Theodora von Valancius was a very open-minded woman, but sagacious Tisiphone did not support many of her endeavors. And neither should we. We are afraid House Orselio will have to refuse the rogue trader's offer.
Would like to discuss.
As we said earlier, the child must return to the fold of her house. We hope you will be gracious enough to acquiesce.
There are traitors amidst. Would the Lady Navigator not be safer under my protection?
There is a pregnant pause. The regent stares at you as if trying to peer through the skin, muscle, and bone and see the darkest corners of your heart.
You are not wrong, rogue traitor. If you are willing to take care of the child while we deal with our problem, so be it. Though House Orselio may have suffered the pain of a schism, only we can protect the child from our brethren and lead her along the paths of enlightenment to the Novator's throne.
Okay. That's a lot of fights we had just now, but yeah. Didn't we get a ton of bolters from this? We have a ton of those we can add to cargo. 11 bolters. Yeah, that's a fair bit of bolters. Chain swords as well. Let's talk with Solomon. Does he have anything more to say, maybe?
You wouldn't believe the kinds of poisons Glado has detected in your various nobles' possessions. Fortunately, they have made no attempts on your life, so I limited myself to sending them a simple message. They may squabble as much as they like, but the moment it puts the Protectorate at risk, they will feel the hand of justice bearing down on them.
Yep. Would like that. To the void ship we go. To the void ship we go. We didn't get any new stuff, right? So, theoretically speaking, you can actually push up Combat Master. What? Combat Master. Creatures switches negative effect, it becomes staggered. You know, okay. 10% block, area attack damage offer minus 30. Okay. Reflective steel triad. Deflection, parry, incoming energy, fire, and shock damage is reduced. Okay. Boom, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Where are we going now is the question. Where are we going now? You know what? How are we with cargo? Have a fair bit of Mechanicus cargo. Okay with range weapons. Decent with melee weapons. Fair bit of uniforms. Decent with uniforms. A bit of provisions. A lot of holy artifacts, honestly. A fair bit of jewelry. A ton of void trophies, though. We're doing a bit of trading, I think. Colony Fast having on a new stage of development.
I bring woeful news, Lord Captain. Prelate Hectachius of the Order of the Hammer has passed away. During the Great Purge conducted by the righteous of Foulstone, a den of subhuman deviants was uncovered. The prelate personally led the purge, sustained a grievous wound, and died the next planetary turn. On his deathbed, he was granted a vision where Saint Cognatius was reincarnated in a body made from the saint's holy relics. The Order's elders believe this to be a sign that Saint Cognatius's relics, currently stored on planets throughout the expanse, must be brought together. The Order is preparing for the election of a new prelate, under whose guidance it will undertake this holy mission. The majority of the votes are divided between Prioress Lugnalia, well known for her fervor, and the merciful Seller Tichon. The minority of the Order sees the Oikonomos Nigmus, a humble and reasonable man, as their prelate.
Does prelate do not strike you as odd?
I'm afraid it does not. The esteemed Hectachius began his service as a battle missionary, and has long grown weary of the peaceful life befitting a man of his status. There was nothing strange about his wounds. He could have recovered from such injuries 30 years ago, but not now.
How does the Order intend to carry on Saint Cognatius' mission?
The Conclave aims to procure all the relics that once belonged to Saint Cognatius, all that can possibly be procured. Given that the saint is a legendary figure, many items in the Coronus Expanse have an alleged connection to him. However, it seems unlikely that any of the relics' owners will be eager to part with them. The answer to the question of how the Order of the Hammer is going to retrieve them depends on the identity of its next prelate.
I wish to know more about the candidates.
Prioress Lugnalia was converted by Hectachius on one of the heathen worlds. She then served as his bodyguard for many years and eventually became the protector of the Order's reliquary and the leader of its military branch. As for Brother Tichon, he is an aristocrat by birth. He had an excellent education and could have lived in luxury had he not renounced secular life for the sake of ascetic vows. He is intelligent, thoughtful, well-read, and, most importantly, genuinely merciful. Few things can be said about the Oikonomos Nigmus. He has never been famous for his prowess in battle or his sermons, but the monastery has never wanted for anything on his watch. He is a most reasonable and unobtrusive individual.
What will my companion say?
I have sympathy for Prioress Lugnalia. Let her meet with Reverend Hieronymus on footfall. Should he accept her as a worthy leader, we ought to support her. Brother Tichon. He and I have met, back when he was called Tichon Drivestam. He wasn't a monk back then, he was a grandson and heir to Urband, governor of Darganus. An honorable young man with a spark in his eyes. His ascension would mean much to the Drivestams.
Influence servant. At the start of each turn, momentum. 2 prof plus. Honestly, Lagunia meet Harmonious Doloso. If he approves, we will support her.
His Holiness will see the truth. Reverend Hieronymus arrived on Foulstone and met with the prioress. After a confession and a philosophical discussion in private, he acknowledged Lugnalia as being worthy of a high ecclesiastical station and guaranteed her the support of the cult of Saint Drusus. Prioress Lugnalia has been chosen as the prelate of the Order of the Hammer. A faithful militia is taking up arms to stake their claim to Saint Cognatius's relics. The neighboring worlds look upon Foulstone with worry and fear, just as they do upon its patron, the rogue trader.
Charge equal to willpower bonus against demons. Yeah, that's the one we're going for. So we need one. No, we need 2 more. So we need to actually get that location. I don't. Where is it? We need to get Kivagama. We need to get Kivagama under our control. That is... I think that is one of the main things we should actually care about. 3 people... Complacency? How are we with complacency? 4... Efficiency... Imperial Navy, security, weapons. Shield of Emperor is what we're going for here. Then I think we're going Adeptus Arbites down there. The Resources Blessing.
A familiar voice.
Okay, so we got... That's a new lance that deals more damage. It's a medium range only, but it deals a fair bit more damage. The torpedoes fire 4, dealing 19 each. Short burning plasma. We have normal. Plate 5 negates 9 damage. 4, 5 on the sides. Latin 2B plasma drive 12 speed along with a strong acceleration and braking. Select tradable. We have been Eldari, yeah. Not enough to get the next here, to be fair. Yeah, the torpedo stairs are actually really nice. Okay. Yeah, we're going to the dock first because the dock has Opticon 22. Let's go and talk to Opticon.
Access has been granted to the
With a respectful nod, the tech priest.
Okay, so we have now 46 there. We need 4K. Yep, nope. We are doing Drosus first. Having a look. We might actually be almost maxing out Drosu.
Form A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have
Drosu is the one where I'm just like, I'm hoping we can get some good things from here. Profit factor has been one of the things stopping us from actually purchasing a ton of things from him. Because the things are expensive. Fairly expensive. So we will see.
The Emperor protects.
Is it true that Pirate Ben's Bellardo was a parishioner that he endowed during...
It is. Over the course of his life, that reprobate had burdened his soul with many vile and egregious acts.
Yeah.
His confessions were akin to a grand catechism listing humankind's imminent vices and enormities. It was all the more painful for him to realize that, of all the heinous acts he had committed, not one had been forgotten by the Emperor. Dens Bellardo was afraid of death and that which would await him after. He hoped to atone for his misdeeds. Yearned to convince, if not the Emperor, then himself, at least, that he had been more than a conscious speck of malignant mold his entire life.
Everyone deserves a chance of redemption.
And it is true for miscreants above all others. The greater the transgression, the more miraculous and wondrous the repentance.
Footfall is now the new patron. Footfall now has a new patron, Incendia Chora.
Indeed. Her loyal servants have already appointed confessional units whose duty it is to patrol the station and invite its denizens to repent of their many crimes. As the Emperor is my witness, his pious aides have their work cut out for them on Footfall. For depravity, much like the void, is immeasurable and omnipresent. But is that any reason not to try and conquer it? I only pray that the blessed Incendia does not find the burden of the offences of Footfall's denizens so indelible as to cleanse the station in a fiery fount. Even though it certainly deserves such a fate.
Oh, we have so many things we can buy now. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're almost maxed out here on this character. Here on this. Heavy armor proficiency, more wounds, deflection. While the wearer has 75 or more wounds, their deflection is increased by 3 and their parry is increased by 18. Base armor property, +1 deflection against melee attacks. Okay. Death Worlder, dodge against humans, agility, reconstruction, flame pistol. When they hit, all melee attacks against the target. Okay, melee attacks. Toughness, large med kit. World property, War World. +10 against humans, 10% dodge. Uses shield swing within hitting multiple. Okay, that's actually good. Death World War Boots. Gain 50% dodge reduction for melee attacks. Okay, great. Grants 5+ parry reduction, whereas Iconoclast, all allies hit chance against an enemy adjacent to the wearer. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Some really good ones there. Triumph of Retribution is a one-handed sword. Okay, it's a force sword. Okay, fair enough. Where it hurts, including attacks itself, extra instance of damage over time. Okay.
For the Emperor.
No.
The Emperor protects.
We're going to trade a few things as well. Hide on tradables. Order. Trading that. We have a lot of armors. Okay, so we are going already to the next step. That should be a few steps. We can go all those. Yep. So we got the Force Sword, we got the Martyr's Penance. Inferno Pistol, one shot per combat. Not great, but... okay. I think we're fairly decent off.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
We boosted our reputation with them a lot, honestly, so... what's wrong? Need grow fat and store while the station starves. I'm making decisions this run that I haven't done in earlier runs. So it's kind of new stuff for me in general.
Know your duty.
So I think that's kind of where it's going to go, but... so many companions, so many companions. Vladim, how are you doing?
Greetings, your lordship. Do you Proctor?
The liege's face takes on a most dispassionate expression.
I heard about Sargonau's death and the successful reclamation of the tithe from Rykad Minories. Do you require more information on any violators of the Lex Imperialis? I assure you, Sargonau was the only heinous criminal of this caliber on all of Footfall. I will be the judge of who is a criminal in the eyes of the Adeptus Arbits. As for my presence here, that's just to give you a reminder of the sound of the Lex Imperialis and the sight of Glado's teeth.
How is life treating you in Shorta's firm hand?
Vladim's face sours a little, but his voice is calm and dry.
New rules have been introduced, and many businesses are suffering losses and inconvenience caused by the actions of her confessional units. But we are Footfall. We know how to survive under rogue traders of all kinds. And none of them has yet been able to change this station's identity.
Let's see. Oh, you're still 0. Okay, yeah. Even if I trade in everything, it's not enough. Yeah, no.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
I don't know where I clicked. Great. We're doing this because I'm lazy. We're going to Risa. And to finish it off, we're going to Opticon last again. I don't know. I'm a big fan of. I'm in general a fairly big fan of. Generally a big fan of Adeptus Mechanicus. I always end up actually repping them fairly high every single time almost.
Welcome back. Ugh. What's Alaman doing here? I hear you got Sargonaut, Groxus for his soul. So, what? Now you've decided to go after the rest of us?
I am not here for you, heretic. So, keep your head down and remember that the next time we meet, I might feel more generous and spare a bullet or two just for you.
I knew it, Laman. As long as we don't touch the tithe, it's like you can't see us.
The woman turns back to you, looking very pleased with herself.
Looking for something specific? You're buying, or maybe selling. Don't be shy, just ask. Old Riza knows all kinds of folks. My boy.
Staff of Inferno. To be fair, I think I'm fairly far down here already. Blood Oath, Oath of Vengeance. Arch Militant, choose, perform melee attack. What's a range attack to target melee toughness. 2 melee weapons. Apex Predator. What is it you want to trade? Know what? No. No. We're heading to Opticon and trading off a fair bit there, and then we will see what the system has to do with us, honestly.
Form A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have submitted it after 14 hours and 8 minutes. Access has been granted to the following.
Sort by type. Get all those. You know what? Add those to cargo. Keep a bit for myself. Yep. Okay, so that's... Can't buy it because it's still above a... I want that melt again, honestly. What's going on? Why am I getting tagged? Okay, yep. Okay, that's a solid reason. We are going to do a few things here now. We are going to, first of all, we have 78 medkits. Ooh, okay. After a successful attack, the gauntlet grants the wearer a 50% chance to inflict bleeding on an enemy that fails. If the wearer has dogmatic adherent, the test is made with -20 penalty. Adamantium profit factor. People for chemicals. People for provisions. Okay. Let's get the fucking colony planets on our side now. So, you don't have anything. We need Kiva Gamma for you. Okay. Warp travel here.
Lord Captain, I humbly request an audience with you. Proctor Anthar is interfering with the crew and is demanding to see all the archival records of fugitive criminals we have ever received from the Imperial Navy. The matter is urgent. If you please, Lord Captain.
We just granted him I will meet with both.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
Okay. You think you're going to be productive. You know, there's a thing breaking out, there's a fight, and everyone's stupid. You know, the normal things.
Your Lordship, Proctor Anthar is interfering in the work of the crew. He is intimidating and threatening them, demanding access to the ship's sealed archives. And as for his dog...
Vigdis pauses, shifting her gaze to the cybermastiff and tucking her hand behind her back.
I humbly request that you take action.
Vigdis, what's wrong with your hand?
Allow me to explain. The Vox Master tried to pet Glado, which activated his self-defense protocol.
As a result, I had to step away from my duties to have my implants replaced, esteemed Proctor.
I already apologized. In any case, what happened was the expected outcome from unauthorized contact with a living weapon of the Adeptus Arbits.
Solomon, why are you sabotaging my crew's work?
I was compelled to intervene as Glado had intercepted a suspicious signal. The encrypted message contained the words heresy and fugitive. I managed to trace the signal back to the Vox Master's workstation. I needed to dispatch Glado on a reconnaissance mission, to obtain new evidence and, ultimately, to ensure your safety.
In other words, you sent the beast to follow me.
I questioned the crew in the Vox Master's absence and established that the wanted bulletins sent by the Imperial Navy were being completely ignored. I suspect that Senior Officer Tolliman is abusing your trust.
What do you say to that, Vigdis?
Vigdis presses her hands together.
Reports of fugitive criminals, which number in the hundreds, are of low priority. What's more, I know that Lord Captain Theodora was most adamant on the matter. If you forgive me, her exact words were, "We are not Grok-stamped bounty hunters." The Proctor would know that if he had brought his questions to me rather than interrogating astropaths and comms officers. As for the Vox transmissions, the frequency on which the senior officers communicate is encrypted. I alerted the staff to the situation with the Voidsman who was brought to you on the bridge to stand trial. Need I remind the Lord Captain that Proctor Anthar has no authority to access transmissions conducted by senior officers on the rogue trader's flagship, not to mention that the signal was wrongfully intercepted?
Did you know that one of my Voidsmen was a fugitive heretic?
No, Lord Captain. He was not on the list of wanted criminals in the Coronis Expanse. I assume it is because of the relative insignificance of the heresies he was accused of by the Calician authorities. Perhaps Proctor Anthar had information to which the Imperial Navy does not have access.
Solomon, what are you suggesting?
Your flagship is untouchable for external inspections because of its high status, and criminals are taking advantage of that. So you need an internal audit. You need to pull up the archives of wanted bulletins and double-check the crew records. That is the only way to identify and eliminate potential threats to you.
This is madness for a ship whose officer corps alone comprises hundreds of people. The work hours that would be required for such an audit.
Vigdis and Solomon look at you expectantly.
Solomon, you will be granted access to the archives and lead an audit crew. Vigdis and you and Jornis, Vigdis, you and Jarnus will double check the crew on your own. Do not involve the Proctor. Yep.
A heavy sigh escapes the grate of Vigdis's vox.
Yes, your lordship.
Solomon is doing his thing, that's for sure.
It was discovered that one of the smaller vats in Engine Hall 5, which should have been filled with wastewater, instead contained a liquid that looked like blood. This incident was... Warp emanations have filled the plasma drive bay. Daemons, having appeared out...
Okay. No, it's no reason to waste any resources. It's XP, it's more resources we can trade. We're closing in on mid-game.
The divine watches over us. I will cast you into eternal darkness.
That was a mistake.
Another scar for my collection.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
And so shall we have been judged and found wanting. A warning to all those who seek to defy us.
Okay.
Rejoice in service.
Emperor, give me strength.
Okay.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
You know what? No. Doing that.
We've got a job to do, Glato. Clarify your order. It won't take long. Target eliminated.
Okay, he's not going to get all the way there now.
Waste of time. Accepted.
Okay. Harold.
Let my enemies tremble at the sound of my steps. I will not be deterred.
Nope.
My place is at the fore. Victory is imminent.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
I bring mercy in retribution. The shadows will see it done. No.
Just a minor setback.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
No heretic escapes punishment. The order is clear.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Even my dog wouldn't do that. Mark the target.
Even my dog wouldn't do
Clarify
that.
your order. I'll take it as priority. Waste of time.
Run and gun. Don't mind if I do.
Moving into position. The order is clear. Accepted. Executed.
What weapon do you have? 2 shotguns.
Rejoice in service. Actions will speak. Let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
A tactically sound approach.
Can I charge there? I
At
can
your
charge
beck and
there.
call. It will be done.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Okay.
I shall not. My blade whispers your name. Death is a blessing.
Okay. Nice. You know what? No, we're just leaving.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
We are just leaving. Select all and leave. Yes. Clearing out all the stuff. Stuff. Space Pirate, our health is fairly good.
The ship's augurs have detected a non-native mineral cluster on the planet's surface, probably the remains of an ancient asteroid shower. The substance is valuable, but collecting it will not be easy. The asteroid sits right above numerous underground caverns. The ancient tunnels and vaults are incredibly unstable and would likely not bear the weight of a life. The crew's expertise made it possible to collect the mineral without disturbing the ancient caverns.
Okay. Scan it. Okay, we have 2 of 4 pieces now for that one. I don't remember what it does. I really don't. Let us fight some space pirates. Space pirate. Oh, we should have put on the upgrades. Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't have any problems with it anyway.
Let our weapons be true and our resolve unbreakable.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have any problems with it. Okay.
Show them them the fury of our macro cannons. Unleash a barrage of destruction.
Changing course, disengage. Let's live to fight another day.
Helmsman, navigate us to the designated coordinates. Show them the fury of our macro cannons. Send our enemies to the void. Full speed ahead.
You know what?
Unleash a barrage of destruction. Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany.
Ooh, they broke the shield. But they got broken as well. Give him a salvo.
The fury of our macro cannons.
Activate the Geller field. Emergency warp jump in 3.
We have a destination to reach.
Goodbye.
Unleash the power of our large batteries.
They pale before our mastery of the void.
Wonder what's on the planet. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so this one goes in there. $519, $419. We have, okay, so we are going to take that, put that in, and we're also going to take that. Okay. We don't have a dorsal macro cannon, which is sad, but yeah. Kinetic. I think we can just do that and just put that there instead. $95, $80, $80, $120. Engines. 13. I think we're off with the one we have, honestly. Plating 5. 4. 9 points. 4 on 4 on other sides. 5 for each. I think we're sticking with the one we have. Yep. We can make the Crusade. Rogue trade again against demons. Against demons. 10 plus to all characteristics during weapon. We're taking this one. Can't do anything
Lord
there.
Captain, we have received a report from Darganus. Some common folk from the now ruined Scipion 84 to 249 have succumbed to the heresy of defiance. Forming into gangs known as the Engine Vandals, they now ride across the wastes on wasteland-adapted cleaning Goliaths. They have declared themselves outside the law, raiding the Hive's outskirts only to escape retribution in the toxic wastelands. Many of them did not want to obey your more than equitable decision to send them to the restoration site of Scipion, and thus they have fled the labor settlements, committing the heresy of disobedience. Rumor has it that the Foreman clan in charge of debris removal in the ruins of Scipion associates with these vandals. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the Foreman, or force them to disclose the locations of the rebels' nomadic camps.
What is this Foreman's
It is a
clan?
union of workers and tech-nomads who used to serve on the lower levels of Scipion. Small-scale shift bosses, useful common folk who have proved their worth with diligent labor and valuable knowledge. Of course, they rank much lower than the esteemed merchants, to say nothing of the aristocrats, but the common folk heed their kin, and the Foremen have both the authority and the ability to manage them. The Scipions keep to themselves, but the Foremen have not shown any signs of disloyalty. They were the first to volunteer to return to the ruins of Scipion 84 to 249 and start clearing the rubble. They are certainly useful and well accustomed to praising the Emperor through their labor. Moreover, their grief at the loss of their home and the resilience with which they have borne it have made them heroes and martyrs in the eyes of other commoners.
Ancient belong. It's like just normal sword. Okay. How do these survive in the wasteland?
It is a rather uncomfortable way of life, your lordship. They are always on the run from acid rains and hurricanes, keeping a decent distance from the hives if they do not plan on raiding at that moment. They get their food from abandoned outposts, paying for it with the lives of those killed by autonomous security systems. Water and promethium are rationed very strictly. They live by marauding, occasional hunting, and plundering, sometimes their own kin, and sometimes the outskirts of the hives. They are a tribe of degenerates and barbarians that is rapidly developing its own clan culture. The civilized residents of the hives shoot the scum any chance they get.
I wish to hear what my
If the
advice.
Engine Vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, then that means there are tech-nomads or even tech-priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. It would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing of them. A promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Darganus and returned to the dynasty will ensure their obedience and tractability. The aristocrats of Darganus despise them, but are also secretly afraid of them, correct? Renegades who can invoke such fear. I wonder, had there been such exiles in my house, would their presence have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in case of conflict? Oh. I am scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. The web teaches to look for the enemy's vulnerability in what drives them. If the enemy is compelled to seek sustenance by attacking your domain, prepare a trap full of poisoned gifts. Let them eat and drink to their heart's content. The poison will weaken them. And then you will strike.
Mechanics. No. Kebala will do as you say. Lay the bait and poison the vandals.
Poison is but a tool. The enemy will be condemned by their own vices. The vandals took the bait, a defenseless caravan laden with provisions. The gangs feasted, unaware that the food and drink were flavored with powerful toxins. A wave of sudden death soon swept across the wastelands, followed by a ruthless punitive raid. The tribe's best warriors have died in the slaughter. The survivors were taken in by the Foreman clan. More workers are always needed for rubble removal. It will be years before the Engine Vandals' numbers replenish and they can pose a threat once again.
Am I going to build? No, we're going this one. We are going that one.
Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Virbos 6 is located here. The problem is, the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It is impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily, Xenos. The armory and artillery crews are standing by.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we have leveled up again. Okay, good. No Acer uses reactive. Momentum is increased. Yeah, sure. End of combat. All allies in the free zone radius. Until the end of combat, the Vanguard gains fellowship bonus momentum for each attack that hits them. Yep. Capable area attack instead of single attack. One random ally makes 2 attacks. You know what? Yeah. When cards use enemy suffering damage over time, you immediately suffer an additional instance of damage of these effects. All burning effects, any sources inflicted by enemies ignore armor deflection. The damage of bleeding effects of any source of income increased by additional 30. All in combat immediately suffer bleeding damage equal to each affected in the equal to character's level divided by 10. Until the end of combat, executioner's allies are healed by the damage over time. Suffering damage, the number of wounds restored equal to them. You know what? That is such a thing to just go for. Okay, yeah. Bounty Hunter. Whenever the Bounty Hunter attacks exactly one target, which is marked as play. Okay. So we got another level. What are we? 26? Something like that? 26, 28?
This planet can barely sustain life, and yet, searchers discovered a long-lost Imperial colony, one that was cut off from the rest of the galaxy centuries ago. The colonists live in conditions worse than any under Hiv, yet they still venerate the Emperor and gladly welcome their visitors. The Lord Captain receives an invitation from the local ruler, the Archkeen Princeps Domina.
Official
the ruler meets the Lord Captain in a shack, considered to be a palace by the people here. The Archkeen's unusual crown is made out of metal coils, most likely parts of an ancient device for boiling water. The guests are served the finest delicacies the colony can provide. The Archkeen praises the visitors in mangled Low Gothic and calls the Lord Captain her dear brother. At the end of the audience, gifts are presented to the guests. The Archkeen's minister delicately remarks that the best possible gift the Lord Captain and his crew could provide would be the replenishment of the colony's meager gene pool.
Lord Captain gives orders to canvass the lower deck for volunteers. The most rugged, handsome among them will be sent to Aquatina to court along some other gifts.
The Archkeen is delighted and flattered. She hopes the Lord Captain will pay her more visits in the future.
That's a fair point. What would happen if you come back in later acts and do that? You know what? Yep, no, we're going to save here and call it for today. That's going to be it for today. I want to wish everyone a good night. Yeah, it's almost evening now, so yeah, no. I'm going to get some food now. Take care.